Hello everybody, welcome back to Boat Crew. We're going to pick up where we left off last time and see if we can crush the Japanese Navy. Let's continue. Alright, welcome back in. Let's get back to it. Last time we managed to take out Renell. Let's see if we can't get Bologna under our control. Keyword there is let's see if we can't, because I'm not sure the level of defense is on Bologna. The invasion force is ready, like you can see over here now. It says it's ready, so we can invade it as long as we raid enough of it. So first, let's scout it, see how big the defenses on Bologna are. Still light. It's on the verge of turning to moderate, so might as well raid this now before it gets beefed up. So let's close the distance. Quickly close the distance. Figure I'm saving a lot of time, but it's time forwarding a bit. Fire gunners. Line them up, line them up. Grab the watchtower. Let them have it. Get damage from that flak. Go out. Following that wildcat to help strafe. Now, I don't know the exact stat increases of as their rank increases, but I do know, I think like for gunners, it probably improves accuracy. Good work, Wildcat. We're definitely taking mortar fire from that direction, so let's go ahead and cruise on that direction and try to just snipe as much as possible. Okay. There should be a mortar somewhere in here. There it is. Oh, that's a flak gun. Alright, our friendly navy should invade Bologna. Yeah, they're taking a fleet up from Malapa and taking it down there. Perfect. Looks like the carrier fleet's raiding Avu Avu, and they got repelled basically instantly. Let's use the tender from this group to make sure I have enough fuel. You can run out of fuel if you don't manage it properly. Okay, they should be able to take that without much issue. Scout it out. Scout this one out. If there is a ship just chilling in there, I'll take it down. No. They are starting to get air patrols, though, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. No, we had a fleet land at Pavuvu, and that one was unprompted by me, but I think it's going to get handily rejected out. Oh, hello. This is a carrier fleet. Let's launch some torpedoes at those flat tops. I don't think I have enough or strong enough ordnance to bring them down, but might as well give it a shot. Launch some torps and bail. There's no point going in there. There's too many big ships to directly engage, so let's just let our torps engage as we retreat. Let's watch these go in. 2 might hit that tanker, and then 2 will probably hit that rear carrier. That tanker's hit. Carrier's hit twice. Launch some ships. Planes, rather. How's that Flattop doing? She's still cruising. Hello, plane. Gunners open fire. I think she'll live from that. Not surprising. Not surprising that she didn't die from those torpedoes. They are much smaller, but I need Mark 28s before I'm willing to get bigger ones. They're just too slow and too easy to spot to bother, unless I'm like point blank. And against carriers, there's no way their escort fleet will tear me in half. This here be the difficulty of fighting carriers, is all of their planes will launch to come and murk ya. Gunners, be ready. You just gotta get outside that red line, as you can see on the minimap. Seconds. Get us out of here. Perfect. Okay, let's go to Savo and rearm. Where's that carrier force? There it is. Still a decent chunk of coastal tankers in there. I wish if you took down the coastal tankers, it would, like, make the fleet have to retreat because they're going to run out of fuel or something. I don't know. Well, it's all the torps we have. That direction, and that will either hit the flat top, or they'll hit the cruiser, or they'll hit the tanker. They'll hit something. They're going in toward to potentially hit the Yuzhun. Yuzhun? I don't speak the language, so I don't really know. Yep, looks like one's going to hit the other carrier. And the other three hit that one and blew up all of its planes. That's good. Oh, it's going down. Scratch one flat top. Nope. Aircraft are mad. That is all the bad guys. Here she is, sinking to the bottom. I should get a bunch of RP for sinking that. Yep. 1,500 points for that. Alright, let's make ourselves scarce. Should significantly reduce their fleet strength. Now, normally when I have a bunch of points, I would call in aircraft to strafe targets or like bomb targets or whatever, but there's a little too much escort fleet here who has good flak. So let's go ahead and withdraw. We got 5,000 RP from that. Let's see if we can't go get those Mark 28s now. Because I believe I only needed 3,000 for that. It'll reduce my overall supply count. Like, my back supplies will get replaced, but I'd rather have the big torpedoes for hitting bigger targets, but I want them to have tracking so they're a little easier to hit. Mark 28s. Just about enough. Alright. Mark 28 torpedoes, and we still have some light torpedoes in case we have those sub-chasers. Let's, while we're here, scout Tulagi real quick, just to see, because this corridor has me nervous. Oh, I can rate that, no problem. Speaking of the sub-chasers, let's launch one there. One there. Let those speedy torps go do their thing, and they're harder to spot because they make a much smaller wake because they're much smaller. Let them do their thing. Try to take down that sub-chaser. I don't think it saw the target because it's not moving. That one should hit regardless. Or not. Nope, there it went. With a coastal bombard for bonus points. He's still not moving, so let's go ahead and lob a torpedo. Let's go ahead and lob our torpedoes at this guy. Oh, those guns are opening up. Just lob the big torps. They're much slower, so they're less likely to actually hit the sub-chaser, but it's worth a shot. Sorry if I'm not able to get good cinematic shots here. I'm having to take evasive action. Ooh, impact with one of the heavy torps. Well, that sinker. I'm not sure. She's definitely listing. Pretty nastily. Ooh, yeah, she just ignited and sank. Alright, let's mop up. Wildcats, give us a hand. Light up all these boats. That would be slight sub-chaser fire there, if you're wondering why it's bullet hell over there. They're firing flak weapons at me. Come on, gunners, nail them. We damage on the right side, and we're taking casualties. Oh, we might actually get sunk here. Yeah, we're out of crew. Crap. Yeah, unfortunate. I got too close. Too close to the sun. Let's wait for our planes to finish up their runs before we get out, though. That sucks. I don't think I'll have enough to replace my Mark 28s. Hopefully my planes can do enough to trigger a raid. Pretty sure we just saw a plane hit the water. There's another boat. So they're coming in for another pass. Sucks because I wanted to get all that RP, but not much to be done there. Are they coming around for another pass, or are they going to bail out of the strat zone? Oh, there we go. There's another pass on that target. And there goes that boat. And I believe they'll go and strafe the ground targets out in the distance there. Looks to be. I believe their timer is about to run out, though, so they'll be leaving. I do believe they're leaving the strike zone now. But I believe our overall base raid was successful. Let's see here. Can I re-afford? No, I'm just shy. Just shy. So let's run Mark 27s again and change out these depth charges for more Mark 24s. It's unfortunate, but it happens. It happens. We've already seen that happen once in this campaign. I don't think the raid recognized the raid. No, it did. Okay. So hopefully it'll be worth it with that raid taking that, because then we'll have more overtime income. The other good part is that also means that none of the patrols will notice us, because when you kill carriers, they get very, very ticked off at you. Let's check our call-ins while we're at Savo. Yeah, we're down to... This one's got one use left. Let's get some more Wildcats and some more Corsairs. I don't really use the artillery bombardments that often. I know that's probably a waste, but I don't use them, so I use the planes a lot more. Let's scout Pavuvu. Lots of ships in that port. Let's pull away so then they won't see it coming. Skirt in quick. Throw a light torps and bail. hit the other target. There's some destroyers in there, so I'll have to be semi-cautious. There's also torpedo nets all over the place. So my overall targeting capabilities are fairly limited here. Let's launch a torp there and there. Enjoy! Now let's see here. Where are the torps? Nope. They just impacted on the back of that destroyer. Well, I'm landed right where a magazine should be, so hopefully he'll burn. Let's see these go in on this destroyer. Yeah. They both picked him up. Impact. Impact. Another 2 centerline impacts. Large secondary fire broke out on the Isanami. How about the other one? Usagumo. Don't see anything yet, but he did go dead in the water, so. Oh no, he's reversing. I think that one might make it out fine unless he has a secondary explosion of some kind. I'm just hanging out to see if the Isanami sinks or not. He is moving again, but he is quite charred. Gotta stay out of range. Another secondary fire on the Isanami. Looks like she might be going under. Yeah, and third fire. Yeah, she's slipping under. Oh, the other one. Other one seems to have gotten off fine, but that one sank. Yeah, down goes a Fubuki. All right, let's get out of here. That's an extra 3,000 RP for sinking the Fubuki. So let's go and get some Mark 28s again, if we can afford them. Because then we don't have to worry about not hitting them in a keen spot. Oh. Just short, but I can just get rid of the front faster torpedoes temporarily. I'll just have the big torps, but I'm hitting bigger targets at the moment, so it doesn't really matter. So let's go and hit Bavuvu again. They'll probably see me coming this time, but oh. Looks like I might have caught in a fleet about to enter port with a Fubuki in it. Let's wait till they get up to speed. Yeah, as you can see by the notification, they are quite aware that I'm doing stuff. Because I stormed that port and sank a destroyer, they're a little wary of me coming in on a patrol boat and destroying them. Let's watch these torpedoes go in on the Uranami, and I think that boat might be too small for it to be named. Yeah. May have sent that one too far ahead. They've seen the torpedo wake. Come on, Mark 28, nail him. Gonna hit his bow. Direct hit on the bow. That one might be going too slow to hit that sub chaser. I think he accelerated. Is that destroyer going to go down from that? You got a fire breakout. Yeah, that one's not going to hit anything. He had a fire breakout on his bow gun. I think he's okay. He's certainly damaged, but I think he's going to make it out of it with that. I think damage control is going to keep up on that one. Alright, we got Bologna and Renel, so now we got that corner of the map under our control. Back to Savo. Rearm. Might as well just keep raiding this port. Ooh, hello. Where are you? Coastal Bombard and a bunch of small ships. You can probably take this down. Coastal Bombards are of the same class variety as a merchant ship. They just have a lot of guns. So if you don't sink them, they're a major problem. Because they'll fire bursts of shells. But they're also not as well armed as your standard warship. I.e. no flak guns, just machine guns and... just machine guns and the primary battery. The primary battery being the issue for coastal and when you're in your boat. It also means you can strafe it with planes. You just kind of have to get lucky for if they manage to hit something critical. Let's go ahead and speed it up so we can watch these go in, since they're much slower than the fast ones. So far, they seem to be looking good. Yeah, I'm going to get one in the front, one in the center, it looks like. Ooh, yeah. Just the one was enough. Let's go wipe out what's left and collect our RP. Apologies for that short pause. I ran out of space for recording, apparently. That is something I'm working toward, is getting more space for my computer. As to prevent that from happening in future, and also just in general, games are getting a lot bigger, so I need to work on that. So we're going to finish this up, and then we're going to finish this episode up, because I don't want it to run out of space again while I'm recording. Okay, let's finish getting that RP. Let's slow her down so we can turn tighter. Get that last little bit. Perfect. The small fleet wiped out. Let's return to Savo. And I will have to call it a day there, as I'm nearly out of space. Alright then. Let me just pause this, because there seems like there's an invasion fleet going in for Tulagi. I guess we'll deal with that next time. Other than that, though, have a good one.